Chapter 1. The Field of Possibility. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine standing in a wide, open field. The air is crisp, the sky stretches endlessly above you, and the land beneath your feet feels fertile and alive. In your hand is a small bag filled with seeds, not of corn or barley, but of your dreams. Each one represents something sacred to you: a career change, a new love, financial freedom, peace of mind, healing, adventure, clarity. This field represents the universe, and it is limitless. It holds more than you can imagine. But here's the key: while the soil is rich and ready, nothing will grow unless you plant the seeds. Even more important, nothing will flourish if you don't believe it can. Many of us have been conditioned to believe in scarcity. We're taught that opportunities are rare, that success is for the few, and that if someone else wins, it somehow means less for us. We live in fear that there won't be enough, of love, of money, of time, of recognition. This mindset of lack doesn't just impact our decisions, it blocks our ability to receive. But here's the truth most people never learn: the universe is abundant by nature. Lack is a human invention. The cosmos isn't stingy. It doesn't hoard blessings. It doesn't ration joy. It pours these things out, but only those with open hands and hearts can receive them. Let's break this down. Abundance is the default setting. Look at nature. Does a tree produce just one leaf? Does the ocean produce a single wave? Is the sky content with one star? The universe does not do just enough. It does more. Overflowing, multiplying, expansive. That's the nature of life itself. Constant creation and recreation. You, as part of this universe, are no different. You were not born to live small, hide your light, or beg for crumbs. You were born with the same creative force that runs through the stars. The same energy that forms galaxies flows through you. But somewhere along the way, you forgot. Or worse, someone taught you to believe otherwise. Maybe it was a parent who said, "Money doesn't grow on trees." Maybe it was a teacher who laughed when you dreamed big. Maybe it was heartbreak that made you decide you were unworthy of love. These moments became internalized beliefs, and those beliefs became your reality. Not because they're true, but because you believe them. The universe responds to energy, not effort. It doesn't reward hard work alone. It rewards alignment. Limiting beliefs. Invisible fences. Imagine a dog wearing an invisible fence collar. It learns quickly not to cross certain boundaries, even when the fence is off. Eventually, it stops trying. We do the same thing. We run up against failure, rejection, or embarrassment and decide, that dream isn't for me. I guess I'm not lucky like others. Maybe I just have to settle. These beliefs become internal fences. And worst of all, we stop testing them. We live inside invisible limits, not because the world is closed to us, but because we've convinced ourselves it is. But what if the fence isn't real? What if the only thing standing between you and your dreams is a belief system inherited from people who never realized their own? What if the door is open, but you're not walking through it? Here's the breakthrough: you don't receive based on what you want. You receive based on what you believe is possible. Wanting versus receiving. There's a huge difference between wanting something and being ready to receive it. Wanting is longing. It's reaching, craving, needing. It's a feeling of not enough. When you want something desperately, you sometimes radiate an energy of lack, even if your desire is pure. But receiving is a state of readiness. It's an inner knowing. I am enough. I am worthy. I am open. Think about someone offering you a compliment. If you respond with, "Oh no, not really," or "It's not that big of a deal," you're deflecting it. You're blocking the receiving. Now imagine someone says the same thing and you smile, place your hand over your heart, and say, "Thank you." That is receiving. The universe offers you opportunities in a similar way, quietly, subtly, often in unexpected packages. But if you don't feel worthy, if you think you have to earn or hustle your way into abundance, you might miss it. Or worse, you might reject it altogether. You don't have to deserve, you just have to align. This part might surprise you. You don't get what you deserve from the universe. You get what you are aligned with. Alignment is not about being perfect. It's about being in vibrational harmony with what you want. If you desire love but constantly affirm that all the good ones are taken, you're out of alignment. If you want financial abundance but spend your days fearing bills and judging wealthy people, you're out of alignment. If you want peace but your internal dialogue is chaos, you guessed it, you're out of alignment. To align, you need to embody the energy of your desire. Want love? Become loving. Want wealth? Start feeling abundant. Notice how much you already have. Want purpose? Begin taking small actions that feel meaningful to you. It's not about proving your worthiness. You already are. It's about attuning your energy so the universe can respond. Reclaiming your power as a co-creator. Most people live in reaction mode. They wait for life to hand them something, and then they respond. Grateful if it's good, devastated if it's not. But what if you realized you're not just a passive character in the story? What if you're a co-author? When you shift your perspective from victim to co-creator, everything changes. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what am I creating here? What am I learning? What's the opportunity inside this? The universe is not doing things to you. It's responding through you. Your energy, thoughts, intentions, and emotions are all part of the creative formula. This doesn't mean you control everything, but it means you influence far more than you realize. Exercise. The possibility inventory. Take a quiet moment today. Sit somewhere you won't be disturbed. Take a deep breath. Then ask yourself, if I truly believed the universe was limitless, what would I ask for? Let yourself write freely. No editing. No filtering. Don't think about how or when it will come. Just write what your soul craves. Now look at your list. Next to each item, write the belief you think you'd need in order to receive it. For example, desire. A fulfilling relationship. Belief, I am lovable and safe to be seen. Desire. Financial freedom. Belief, there's always more than enough. This is where you begin the work, not in chasing the outcome, but in building the beliefs that allow it. Receiving is a practice. Opening yourself to the universe is not a one-time event. It's a way of living. A practice. It's choosing to believe in possibility, even when reality gives you reasons not to. It's deciding, daily, to walk into that open field with seeds in hand, heart open, ready. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be willing, to believe that life isn't happening to you, but for you. That something greater is working behind the scenes, responding to your courage, your curiosity, and your commitment to growth. Chapter 2. Thoughts are frequencies. You've probably heard the saying, your thoughts create your reality. It's been quoted in countless books, podcasts, memes, and inspirational talks. But let's take that from cliché to clarity, because the truth is far more powerful than it sounds. Your thoughts are not just private little whispers in your head. They are frequencies, vibrational signals broadcast into the universe. Each thought carries a tone, a feeling, and an energetic signature. And just like a radio tower transmits a specific station, your mind constantly broadcasts signals that attract corresponding experiences. This isn't a spiritual theory. It's energetic reality. Your mind as a broadcasting station. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a giant broadcasting tower. Every thought you think sends out a signal. When you think, I'm not good enough, that signal is heavy, low frequency. When you think, life supports me, the frequency is light, high, expansive. The universe doesn't speak English or Spanish or Japanese. It doesn't respond to the words you say, it responds to the energy behind them. And the primary source of that energy. Your thoughts. Think of it this way. You say, I want more money, but you constantly worry about debt. You say, I want to find love, but you think, I always get hurt. You say, I want peace, but your inner voice is stuck on repeat with blame, regret, and fear. See the disconnect? You can say what you want all day long, but what you believe, feel, and think is what's actually being broadcast. The universe is listening to the signal, not the sentence. The law of resonance. You've probably heard of the law of attraction, but underneath it is a deeper principle, the law of resonance. Everything in the universe vibrates at a frequency, including your thoughts and emotions. Resonance is what happens when one frequency matches another. That's why when you pluck a string on a guitar, other strings can start vibrating in sympathy. They're tuned to respond. Your thoughts are no different. They resonate out into the universe and attract experiences, people, and outcomes that vibrate on the same wavelength. Think of your thoughts like magnets. Negative thinking doesn't make you a bad person. It just draws in circumstances that align with that energy. Positive thinking isn't magical thinking. It simply increases the likelihood that you'll experience things that match your elevated emotional state. Your dominant vibration. You don't manifest from every random thought. If that were true, the world would be chaos. You manifest from your dominant vibration, the emotional and mental frequency you habitually live in. This is good news. You can't ruin your life with one angry thought. But if you consistently think thoughts of failure, unworthiness, or fear, you'll start to notice more events that validate those ideas. Your reality becomes a mirror reflecting your inner state. This also means that you can shift your reality by shifting your thoughts. Not once, but repeatedly, consistently, deliberately. Self-talk, the hidden script. Most of the thoughts you think every day are the same ones you thought yesterday. According to neuroscience research, up to 95% of your thoughts are repetitive, and nearly 80% of them are negative. That means the script running in your head is often rooted in fear, doubt, criticism, and comparison. Now ask yourself, would you let a friend talk to you the way your inner voice does? Probably not. But here's the powerful truth. You get to rewrite that script. Start paying attention to your self-talk. What do you say to yourself when something goes wrong? What do you think when you look in the mirror? What thoughts come up when you dare to dream? Begin replacing negative loops with empowering ones. For example, instead of "I'll never get there," try "I'm on my way and every step counts." Instead of "I'm not enough," try "I am learning, growing, and becoming more myself every day." Instead of "It's too late," try "The perfect moment begins now." The thought-feeling loop. Thoughts and feelings are intertwined. One feeds the other. A thought triggers an emotion. That emotion then feeds more thoughts of a similar kind. This creates a loop, and depending on your awareness, that loop can spiral upward or downward. Let's say you think, "I'm not going to make enough money this month." That thought triggers anxiety. The anxiety lowers your energy, which makes it harder to focus, which leads to procrastination. That procrastination leads to poor results, and voila, you've confirmed the original belief. Now let's reverse it. You think, "I always find a way." That thought brings relief. That feeling gives you motivation. You act from that motivation, and you create results that affirm the belief. Your job isn't to control every thought. It's to notice the loops, and when necessary, interrupt and rewire them. Interrupting the pattern. When you catch yourself in a low-frequency thought spiral, don't beat yourself up. Self-judgment only deepens the groove. Instead, pause. Breathe. Is this thought helping me or harming me? Would I say this to someone I love? What else could be true? Then gently guide yourself to a better-feeling thought. Not a fake one, but one that feels slightly more hopeful or empowering. This is how you shift the frequency one notch at a time. Here's a scale you can use. I'm doomed. Very low. I'm struggling. I'm learning. I'm figuring things out. I've got this. Higher. I'm thriving. Even higher. Go one step up, not 10. You don't need to leap from despair to ecstasy. Just shift the channel slightly, and keep tuning in. Daily thought hygiene. You brush your teeth every morning. You wash your face. But do you cleanse your mind? Here's a simple morning practice to begin your day in the right frequency. Gratitude scan. Before you touch your phone, name 3 things you're grateful for. Let the feeling land. Mental weather check. Ask, what's my mind doing right now? Observe your thoughts without judgment. Intention setting. Choose a thought to carry you through the day. Something like, "Today, I choose to stay open," or "I welcome good things with ease." Thought replacement. When negative loops appear throughout the day, use a gentle replacement. Write them down if needed. This is mental hygiene. It's not about being perfect, it's about being conscious. The role of language. Words are containers for energy. The way you speak about your life reveals how you think about it. Notice these subtle shifts. I have to, I get to. I'm broke, I'm in a temporary reset. I'm overwhelmed, I'm learning to prioritize what matters. Language shapes perception, and perception becomes reality. So speak powerfully. Speak intentionally. Speak like someone who believes in the future they're building. Belief is the anchor. Ultimately, the strongest thoughts are the ones fueled by belief. If you think something once, but don't believe it, it's like throwing a pebble in a river. If you think something over and over, with emotion and certainty, it's like dropping an anchor into the current of life. The universe can grab hold of that. So ask yourself often, what do I believe is possible for me? Not what you hope for, not what you wish for, what you actually believe. If your current belief doesn't match your desired reality, don't panic. This isn't about faking belief. It's about building it, bit by bit, through thought, repetition, evidence, and experience. Exercise. The frequency audit. Grab a journal and spend 5 minutes answering these questions. What thoughts do I habitually think about myself? What thoughts do I habitually think about money? What thoughts do I habitually think about love? Which of these thoughts uplift me? Which weigh me down? What's one belief I could begin to nurture that would serve me better? Choose one new belief. Write it down. Put it somewhere visible. Repeat it out loud every morning. Let it become part of your inner soundtrack. Chapter 3. Gratitude is your magnet. There's a quiet kind of magic that lives in the ordinary. It's the feeling you get when you sip a warm drink on a cold morning. When someone holds the door open for you. When you catch a sunset at the exact perfect moment, and for no reason at all, you feel like everything might just be okay. That feeling, that's gratitude. But gratitude isn't just a nice idea or a momentary emotion. It's a frequency, a state of being. And when you learn to live in it, it becomes one of the most powerful tools you have for receiving from the universe. Gratitude is not something you offer after you've received. It's what you offer before, during, and after, because it's part of the flow of abundance itself. It is both the invitation and the celebration. In this chapter, we'll explore how gratitude doesn't just change your mood, it changes your life. What gratitude really is, and what it's not. Gratitude isn't just saying, "Thank you." It's not about manners or obligation or pretending everything's okay when it's not. Real gratitude is presence. It's the act of being fully aware of what's here and choosing to appreciate it, even if it's not perfect, even if it's small, even if it's easy to overlook. Gratitude is recognition. It's you saying to the universe, "I see what you've given me. I value it. I welcome more of it." When you live in gratitude, you're not just reacting to life. You're engaging with it. You're tuning yourself to a frequency that attracts more to be grateful for. And here's the best part. The more you practice gratitude, the more reasons you'll find to feel it. Gratitude and the law of attraction. Let's revisit the idea of vibrational alignment. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your energy. And gratitude is one of the highest frequency energies there is. When you're grateful, your heart is open. Your nervous system relaxes. Your body lets go of tension. And your mind shifts from scarcity to sufficiency. This change in frequency makes you more magnetic to the things you desire. Because here's the irony. People who feel abundant attract more abundance, not because they have more, but because they notice more. And noticing is the gateway to receiving. If you constantly focus on what you lack, you're telling the universe, "I live in a world where there's not enough." And the universe, ever responsive, says, "Okay, here's more of that." But if you consistently focus on what's good, even when life isn't perfect, you're saying, "I live in a world where blessings exist." And again, the universe responds. Great. Let me show you more. Gratitude is like adjusting your satellite dish to pick up the frequency of miracles. The small things are the big things. Most people wait for something huge to happen before they allow themselves to feel grateful. The promotion, the soulmate, the windfall, the miracle. But the secret to magnetic gratitude is this: the small stuff counts more than you think. Why? Because it's consistent. It's available every day. And it shapes your emotional tone more than one-off big events ever could. You don't have to wait for your life to be perfect. Start with the sound of your favorite song, the way the sun filters through your window, a deep breath that fills your lungs with life, the text message from a friend that made you smile, the food in your fridge, the roof over your head, the shoes on your feet. These are not trivial things. These are everyday miracles. And when you notice them, you activate a frequency of abundance that transforms how the universe responds to you. Rewiring your brain with gratitude. Science backs this up. Neuroscience has shown that practicing gratitude literally changes your brain. Studies show that consistent gratitude practice increases dopamine and serotonin, your feel-good chemicals, strengthens neural pathways associated with joy, optimism, and well-being, lowers stress and anxiety, improves relationships, sleep, and emotional regulation. Gratitude works like a muscle. The more you train it, the more natural it becomes. And once it becomes your default, life begins to feel lighter, not because everything changes, but because you do. What about the hard times? Now let's get real for a moment. What about when life feels heavy? When you're in pain, or grieving, or stressed, or scared? Are you supposed to be grateful then? The short answer: yes. But not in a fake-it-to-make-a way. Not in a way that denies your emotions. In a way that expands your awareness. Gratitude during hard times is not about sugarcoating. It's about saying, yes, this hurts, and there's still beauty here. It's about holding both, the challenge and the blessing, the grief and the grace, the fear and the faith. Even in your darkest moments, there is something to anchor you. Some small flicker of light that reminds you, you're still here and you're still growing. Sometimes, the deepest gratitude comes not from what you have, but from what you've survived. Gratitude as a receiving practice. Gratitude doesn't just make you feel better. It literally opens your receiving channels. When you're grateful, your energy says, I recognize this gift. I value it. I'm available for more. And the universe listens. Think about how it feels when you give someone a gift and they light up with joy. You want to give to them again, don't you? The universe works the same way. When you respond to what you already have with appreciation, you create an energetic signal that says, this is a good place to send more blessings. Gratitude, then, is not a reaction. It's a form of participation. Simple practices to cultivate daily gratitude. You don't need to overhaul your life to become more grateful. You just need a few consistent practices to shift your focus. Try one or all of these. 1. The morning 3. Before you check your phone or get out of bed, think of 3 things you're grateful for. They can be big, your health, or tiny, the smell of coffee. Say them out loud or write them in a journal. 2. Gratitude walks. Take a 10-minute walk, and for each step, think of something you're thankful for. Your feet, the air, your body, your resilience, nature, movement, presence. It turns a walk into a sacred ritual. 3. Thank you notes to the universe. Once a week, write a note to the universe. Start with, thank you for, and write as if everything you desire is already on its way. Tap into the feeling of already having it. 4. Gratitude jar. Keep a jar in your home. Every time something good happens, big or small, write it on a slip of paper and drop it in. On tough days, open the jar and remind yourself of your abundance. 5. Appreciation conversations. Instead of venting about what went wrong today, ask your partner, friend, or child, what's something good that happened today? Make it a daily ritual. Train your circle to look for light. What if I don't feel grateful? That's okay. Some days, gratitude feels far away. You feel tired, empty, uninspired. On those days, don't fake it. Just find one tiny thing. Even if all you can say is, I'm grateful I made it through today, that counts. Gratitude isn't a performance. It's a gentle turning toward the light, even when you can barely see it. Sometimes, the most powerful gratitude comes not from joy, but from resilience. Gratitude multiplies what you have. There's a beautiful paradox at play here. When you want more, the best way to get it is to appreciate what you already have. This isn't just poetic, it's energetic truth. Gratitude turns what you have into enough, and from that energy of enoughness, more flows in. It doesn't mean you stop growing or desiring. It means you stop chasing from a place of lack. You stop begging the universe, and you start partnering with it. That shift changes everything. Exercise, the gratitude frequency shift. Think of something in your life that feels frustrating right now. Write down your current thoughts about it. Be honest. E.g., I'm tired of struggling with money. Now reframe it through gratitude. E.g., even though money is tight, I'm grateful I've always found a way. Feel the shift. Let it settle in your body. Even just 10% more peace is a win. You're not denying your reality. You're expanding it to include what's also true. Chapter 4. Clear the clutter. Have you ever tried to hear someone speak while music blasts in the background? Or tried to find something in a cluttered, overstuffed room? Or tried to plant something new in a garden overtaken by weeds? In each case, you're not missing the message, the object, or the soil. You're simply overwhelmed by what's already there. The same principle applies when it comes to receiving from the universe. You might think your desires aren't manifesting because you're doing something wrong. But sometimes, it's not about doing more, it's about making space. Energetic clutter is real, and it can block even the most beautiful blessings from reaching you. This chapter is about inner housekeeping. It's about making room, clearing emotional debris, and releasing what no longer serves you. Only then can the universe fill that space with something better. The law of space. Nature hates a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. When there is an empty space in the natural world, something will always move in to fill it. The same is true in your life. If your energy field is full of old grudges, outdated beliefs, toxic relationships, and self-sabotaging habits, there's no space left to receive the abundance you're asking for. But when you clear space, mentally, emotionally, physically, you invite something new. You show the universe that you're ready. Energetic clutter. What's taking up space? Clutter doesn't just live in your garage or your junk drawer. Clutter lives in your mind, your body, your heart. Here's how to spot it. Mental clutter. Overthinking. Worry loops. Constant comparison. Decision fatigue. Your mind is so full of noise, there's no room for new ideas or inspiration to land. Emotional clutter. Old heartbreak. Resentments. Guilt. Regret. These emotions pile up like unwashed laundry, quietly weighing down your spirit. Spiritual clutter. Limiting beliefs. Doubt in your own worthiness. Disconnection from your inner self. A sense that you're separate from the universe, or not doing it right. Physical clutter. A messy space, overstuffed schedule, or unhealthy body habits that keep you stuck in low energy. All of these forms of clutter slow your vibration, and your vibration is what the universe responds to. The lower it is, the harder it is to attract what you want. Why we hold on, even when it hurts. It's easy to say, just let go. But if it were that simple, we'd all be living clutter-free lives. We hold on for reasons that are deeply human. Familiarity. We get used to the weight, the chaos, the wound. It becomes part of our identity. Fear, of change, of the unknown, of emptiness. We think, better the devil I know than the unknown I don't. Unworthiness. Deep down, we might believe we don't deserve something better, so we cling to what we have, even if it hurts. But here's the truth. You're not here to live in emotional leftovers. You're not here to carry what was never yours to hold. And you're certainly not here to keep reliving the same old stories. You are here to evolve. And evolution requires release. Decluttering is an act of trust. Letting go isn't about loss. It's about trust. It's saying, I trust that if I release this, something better will come. It's saying, I don't need to control everything. It's saying, I'm willing to let go of the familiar in exchange for the aligned. When you release something that doesn't serve you, the universe takes it as a cue. They're ready. Let's send something new. But it starts with you. Signs you're energetically cluttered. You might be energetically full if you feel chronically drained or anxious. Can't make decisions easily. Keep repeating old patterns in love, money, or career. Feel stuck even when you're doing everything right. Can't hear your intuition clearly. Keep attracting the same kind of difficult people or situations. These are not punishments, they're signals. Signals that it's time to pause, purge, and reclaim your space. The process of energetic clearing. Decluttering your energy is not a one-time cleanse. It's a practice. But you don't have to do it all at once. Start where you are. 1. Clean your physical space. Your outer space reflects your inner world. Start small. Clear one drawer. Donate clothes you no longer love. Create a sacred corner for meditation or journaling. Every item you remove makes space for new energy to flow. 2. Name and release emotional weights. Ask yourself, what am I holding on to emotionally that I'm ready to release? Write it down. All of it. Then, with compassion, say aloud, I release this now. I choose peace instead. You can tear the paper up, burn it, safely, or bury it. Rituals matter. They help your body feel the release. 3. Cut energetic ties. Some people, places, or past events linger in your energy long after they're gone. Try this. Visualize the person or memory. Imagine a cord connecting you to them. Inhale deeply. On the exhale, imagine cutting the cord. Say, I release this connection with love. I reclaim my energy now. You don't need to forget. You just need to free yourself. Forgive to set yourself free. Forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior. It's about releasing your attachment to the pain. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. It clogs your heart and steals your joy. I forgive you. Not because you deserve it, but because I deserve peace. That's power. Clearing the mind. Mental minimalism. Your thoughts create your emotional environment. So if your mind is noisy, it's time to declutter. Start with these steps. Meditation. Even 5 minutes a day helps quiet the chatter. Journaling. Empty your head onto paper. No filter. No judgment. Mental boundaries. Limit time spent on negative news, draining conversations, or social media scrolling. A clear mind creates space for clarity, guidance, and divine downloads. Boundaries. Your energy is sacred. Another form of energetic clutter comes from saying yes when you mean no, giving when your cup is empty, or engaging in things that feel heavy. Boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They protect your peace, your energy, your alignment. Ask yourself, what am I doing out of guilt or obligation? Where do I feel resentful? Where do I need to say no with love? Every time you honor your truth, you unclutter your energy field. Creating space for receiving. Once you've cleared, you'll notice a shift. More peace. More clarity. More room. Now you're ready to receive. But here's the key, don't rush to fill the space. Let it be open for a while. Sit with it. Breathe in it. So often we rush to replace what we've let go of. But the pause, the in-between, is where integration happens. It's where your vibration recalibrates to match what's truly aligned. Trust the void. It's not emptiness. It's preparation. Exercise. The energetic inventory. Take a journal and answer honestly. What am I tolerating that drains me? What belief keeps showing up that no longer serves me? What relationship feels like a one-way street? What physical space in my life feels heavy or chaotic? What would I feel like if I released all of that? Now choose one thing to release today. Just one. That's enough to start. Chapter 5. Imagine it first. Everything that's ever been created, every invention, every building, every piece of art, every movement, every miracle, began the same way. In someone's mind. Before the plane was built, the Wright brothers imagined flight. Before the internet existed, someone imagined a connected world. Before you were born, someone imagined a life for you. That's the power of imagination. What you imagine, you energize. What you energize, you begin to create. In this chapter, we're going to dive into one of the most powerful creative tools you have, visualization, the art of imagining your desires as if they're already real. Because here's the truth, if you can't see it in your mind, it's very hard to receive it in your life. The universe is responding to your inner world. Everything in your external life is a reflection of your internal state. Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your expectations. This doesn't mean you control every single thing that happens to you, but it does mean that what you consistently imagine begins to shape your experience. The subconscious mind, which governs 95% of your actions, doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's vividly imagined. That's why visualization works, not because it's magical, but because it reprograms your inner world to match the life you want. And when your inner world aligns, the universe meets you with opportunities, people, and synchronicities that reflect that vision. But first, you must see it. What visualization really is, and isn't. Let's clear this up. Visualization is not just wishful thinking. It's not daydreaming or fantasizing with no grounding in action or belief. Visualization is mental rehearsal. It's a focused, intentional practice of living your desired future now, emotionally, energetically, sensorially. It's training your mind, body, and energy to recognize success, joy, peace, or abundance as familiar states, so that when they arrive, you're already fluent in their language. Visualization is about feeling the emotions of what you desire before it arrives. Creating mental blueprints your subconscious can follow. Aligning your energy with the reality you want to attract. You're not pretending. It's a creative act of alignment. Why your brain loves visualization. Science backs up what ancient mystics have always known. In studies with athletes, researchers found that mentally rehearsing an activity, like shooting free throws or running a race, activates the same parts of the brain as physically doing it. The muscles fire. Neural pathways strengthen. The body prepares, even without movement. Now apply that to your life. When you visualize, earning your dream income, walking into your new home, laughing with your soulmate, standing on a stage sharing your truth, your brain begins to normalize these scenarios. They no longer feel out of reach or impossible. They start to feel real and possible. And when that shift happens inside, you begin moving differently outside. You apply for the job. You make the call. You show up with confidence. You become magnetized. It all starts in the mind. The emotional bridge. One of the biggest misconceptions about visualization is that it's only about imagery. It's not. Emotion is the fuel. Visualization without emotion is like a lamp without power. It looks good, but nothing flows. You don't just need to see your desired life. You need to feel it. That means, if you want love, feel loved now. If you want wealth, feel secure and abundant now. If you want peace, breathe deeply and ground into calm now. You're not waiting for the external world to give you permission to feel good. You're generating the vibration first. That's what pulls your desire toward you. Let it be specific and sensory. The clearer your vision, the more powerful the signal you send to the universe. Don't just say, I want a new house. What kind of house? Where is it? What does it smell like when you walk in? What's on the walls? What does the kitchen feel like? Be there. Live there. Engage all 5 senses in your mind. The more detailed your vision, the easier it is to believe in. And the more your subconscious believes, the more aligned action you'll take in real life to match that energy. Common blocks to visualization, and how to clear them. 1. I can't see anything in my mind. Visualization doesn't require perfect images. Some people see vivid pictures. Others feel, sense, or hear. That's fine. Use whatever sense is strongest. Focus on feeling more than perfection. 2. It feels fake or forced. This is normal, especially in the beginning. You're stretching into a new identity, and your mind might resist. Stay with it. Repetition builds belief. The more you visualize, the more natural it becomes. 3. I don't believe I can have this. This is a sign of deeper limiting beliefs. Don't shame yourself for them. Acknowledge them. Then ask, what if I'm wrong? Or, what if this is more possible than I think? Even small cracks in the doubt let light in. The visualization practice. How to begin. Here's a simple way to bring visualization into your daily life. You can start with just 5 to 10 minutes a day. Step 1. Find stillness. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes. Take a few slow breaths. Let go of your day. Drop into the present moment. Step 2. Set the scene. Choose one desire to focus on. It could be a goal, a feeling, or a situation. Now imagine it as vividly as you can. Where are you? Who is with you? What are you doing? What can you see, smell, hear, feel? Step 3. Embody the emotion. This is the most important part. Let the emotion of the vision wash over you. Smile if you want to. Feel the joy, freedom, or peace of already having it. Step 4. Trust and release. After a few minutes, open your eyes. Don't grasp at the vision. Let it go with trust. You've sent the signal. Now carry that energy into your day. You can visualize anytime, anywhere. Visualization doesn't have to be a formal meditation. You can use it throughout your day, while brushing your teeth, while walking, while listening to music, before a meeting, when you're about to make a decision. It's not about escaping the present. It's about informing the present with the energy of your future self. Visualizing doesn't replace action. It inspires it. Let's be clear. Sitting on a couch visualizing checks won't make them appear in your mailbox. Visualization is not the end. It's the beginning. It's the spark that ignites action. When you consistently imagine the life you want, you naturally begin to think like someone who has it, speak like someone who has it, move like someone who has it. And those changes shift your choices, your behavior, your frequency. They make you magnetic. This is co-creation. You bring the vision. The universe brings the means. Exercise. Future self-visualization. This is a powerful technique you can try today. Close your eyes and imagine yourself 1 year from now, living the life you want. Visualize a day in their life. Where do they wake up? What do they wear? Who do they talk to? What work do they do? How do they feel? Let them speak to you. Ask, what do you want me to know? What did you stop doing to become this version of me? Write it down. Begin acting on the wisdom that comes through. Your vision is sacred. Your dreams are not random. They are not silly, selfish, or impossible. They're sacred signals, breadcrumbs from your higher self, pulling you toward the life you came here to live. When you honor your vision, when you take time to see it, feel it, and believe in it, you're not just making a wish. You're making a declaration. I trust what I see in my heart more than what I see in front of me. That kind of faith changes everything. Chapter 6. Set the intention, then let go. At some point in your life, you've probably heard the phrase, be careful what you wish for. There's truth in that, but not because the universe is out to trick you. It's because what you wish for, and more importantly, how you hold on to that wish, matters deeply. Desire alone is not enough. Wishing and hoping without direction is like throwing a dart with no target. But clinging to your desire with desperation, that can block it entirely. There is a delicate balance between declaring what you want and surrendering how it arrives. That balance is called intention. And in this chapter, you'll learn how to set clear, focused intentions, and then get out of your own way so the universe can deliver them in divine timing, in divine form, and with divine ease. What is intention, really? Intentions are directed energy. An intention is not a wish. It's not a goal on a checklist. It's a conscious declaration of what you are aligning your thoughts, energy, and actions toward. Think of it like programming your inner GPS. You input a destination, not just the place, but the feeling you're seeking, and then begin the journey. Intentions say to the universe, "This is what I want to co-create. I'm ready. Let's do this together." Intentions aren't rigid commands. They're more like a compass than a map. They orient you. They shape your focus. They tell your brain what to look for, and they give the universe a container in which to pour blessings. The power of clarity. Imagine walking into a restaurant and saying, "I want food." The server would likely stare at you blankly. But if you say, "I'd like a warm bowl of tomato soup, please," you're much more likely to receive what you actually want. The universe is the same. Vague desires produce vague results. Clarity is magnetic. It shows confidence. It reveals self-awareness. It tells the universe that you know what you want and are ready to receive it. But clarity isn't just about listing material desires. It's about anchoring into the essence of what you want. Behind every wish is a feeling you're truly seeking. Behind money is freedom. Behind love is connection. Behind success is significance or contribution. When you set intentions, get clear on both the thing and the feeling you desire. That emotion is the real currency, and it's what the universe responds to first. How to set intentions that work. Setting a powerful intention is a sacred act. It's the moment you shift from passive hoping to active co-creation. Here's a simple process to guide you. 1. Create sacred space. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Light a candle if you want. Take a few slow breaths. Drop into the moment. 2. Reflect. Ask yourself, what do I truly desire right now? What area of my life feels ready for expansion? How do I want to feel in this next chapter? Let the answers come from your heart, not your ego. 3. Write it down. Writing your intention crystallizes it. It makes it real. Use the present tense, as if it's already happening. For example, I am open to receiving aligned opportunities that bring financial freedom. I am calling in a loving, mutually supportive partnership. I am grounded in peace, no matter what unfolds around me. Make it positive. Make it clear. Make it meaningful to you. 4. Embody the feeling. Close your eyes and imagine your intention coming to life. Feel it in your body. Let the sensation of having it now fill you. That emotional charge supercharges the signal you're sending to the universe. What comes after intention? Let go. This is where most people struggle. We're taught that if we want something, we have to grip it tightly, obsess over it, and try to control every detail. But manifestation doesn't work like that. The tighter you cling, the more you resist. Why? Because gripping is rooted in fear. The fear that if you don't control it, it won't happen. But fear is a low vibration, and it sends mixed signals to the universe. Intention says, "I trust that this is already mine." Attachment says, "I don't believe this can happen unless I force it." Big difference. The universe needs space to move. Your job is to plant the seed, water it with aligned action, and let it grow in its own time. Letting go is not giving up. There's a common misconception that surrender equals passivity. That if you let go, you're giving up. Not true. Letting go is a powerful act of faith. It's you saying, "I've done my part. Now I trust the process. I believe the universe is wiser than my timeline. I release the how and allow divine order to unfold." You don't surrender the desire. You surrender the attachment to how, when, and through whom it shows up. Because here's what happens when you don't let go. You micromanage the universe. And you block the exact blessings trying to make their way to you. What happens when you attach too tightly? When you fixate on your intention too rigidly, a few things occur. You generate stress. Worry, doubt, and impatience creep in. You miss signs. You're so focused on one outcome, you overlook better, unexpected opportunities. You shrink your receiving field. The universe wants to deliver the essence of your desire, but your attachment limits its options. So don't just ask for a specific outcome, ask for the highest good. Try this intention format. This or something even better, for the highest good of all involved. That phrase opens a portal to miracles. Trusting the unseen. Between intention and manifestation, there is a sacred space, the unknown. This is where doubt creeps in. Where nothing seems to be happening. Where your old patterns beg you to give up. This is the test. The delay isn't denial, it's preparation. The universe may be rearranging things behind the scenes. You may need to grow into the version of yourself who can fully receive what you've asked for. So hold the vision. Keep tending your energy. Keep taking aligned action. And trust that unseen forces are moving in your favor. Co-creation means you still take action. Letting go doesn't mean sitting on your hands. It means you take action from inspiration, not desperation. For example, you intend to call in more financial abundance. Desperation says, I'll apply to 50 jobs I hate because I need money now. Inspiration says, I'll create a service I love and share it authentically. Aligned action is gentle, guided, and joyful. It feels like flow. You do your part, and trust the rest will meet you. Daily intention practice. You don't need to wait for a full moon or a life crisis to set intentions. Do it daily, lightly, joyfully. Each morning, ask, what do I want to feel today? How do I want to show up? What am I available for? Then speak it, write it, or hold it in your heart. Examples. Today, I move with calm and confidence. I'm open to unexpected blessings. I trust my intuition to guide me. Small, consistent intentions reshape your path, one breath at a time. Exercise. Set, feel, release. Try this 3-part exercise when setting a meaningful intention. Part 1. Set. Write down your intention in clear, present-tense language. Keep it short and powerful. Example, I welcome new clients who align with my values. Part 2. Feel. Close your eyes. Imagine that your intention is already real. Visualize it in vivid detail. Feel it in your body. Smile if it helps. Let it be real for a few moments. Part 3. Release. Breathe deeply. Say aloud, I release this intention with love. I trust that what's meant for me will arrive in perfect timing. Then, return to your day. Let go of the urge to check or chase. Keep your energy open and your heart soft. Chapter 7. Stillness is the signal. In a world that worships hustle, urgency, and non-stop motion, stillness is often mistaken for laziness. Silence can feel uncomfortable. Doing nothing can feel unproductive. But here's a truth that changes everything. Stillness is not nothing. Stillness is everything. It is in stillness that the universe speaks. It is in silence that clarity rises. And it is in presence, pure, grounded awareness, that we open ourselves fully to receive. This chapter is about reconnecting to one of your most underrated powers, your ability to be still. To tune out the noise and tune into yourself. To stop chasing and start listening. Because sometimes what you're searching for is trying to reach you, but your life is too loud to hear it. The noise that blocks the flow. Your modern world is designed for constant stimulation. Notifications every few seconds. Endless scrolling. News cycles that thrive on panic. Messages telling you to keep grinding, keep doing, keep achieving. The result? Your mind is always on, and your nervous system is rarely at rest. This overstimulation creates a kind of static. It clouds your inner signal. It disconnects you from intuition, alignment, and universal guidance. It's like trying to hear a whisper in a thunderstorm. And yet, Most people think the answer is to do more. Work harder. Try again. Fix everything. But the real solution is far more elegant. Be still. Stillness is not passive. It's deeply receptive. And the more you practice it, the more you hear what's always been there. The universe whispers, it doesn't shout. The universe isn't shouting at you. It's whispering. It speaks through. A quiet nudge in your belly. A moment of peace in the middle of chaos. A dream you can't forget. An idea that floats into your mind when you're brushing your teeth. But you only catch these whispers when you slow down enough to listen. Stillness sharpens your spiritual hearing. It tunes your inner receiver to the frequency of divine guidance. When you live in a constant state of busyness, the messages get buried. But when you pause, even for a minute, you start to notice the sacred patterns beneath the noise. Stillness is how you access intuition. Your intuition, the inner knowing that guides you toward truth, is not something you need to develop. It's something you need to remember. You were born with it. It's your built-in compass. But like any compass, it must be read in calm conditions. You wouldn't try to take a reading in a hurricane. The same goes for your life. To receive intuitive guidance, to make clear decisions, to recognize divine timing, you need to be still enough to feel. Stillness allows your intuition to rise from the depths of your subconscious. It creates the inner spaciousness where wisdom can land. Stillness creates the energy of allowing. There's a big difference between manifesting through effort and manifesting through allowing. Effort says, I must push harder, think harder, do more. Allowing says, I've done my part. I now create space for the universe to do its part. Stillness is the posture of allowing. It is the energetic equivalent of open hands. When you practice stillness, you're not giving up on your desires. You're declaring that you trust their timing and that you don't need to control every step. That trust is what opens the energetic gateway for miracles. The connection between stillness and presence. Stillness and presence go hand in hand. Presence is the state of being fully here, not in the past, not in the future, not in fantasy or fear, but now. And the present moment is the only place where the universe can meet you. The past is gone. The future is imaginary. The now is where your power lives. In stillness, you return to presence. You stop rehearsing your fears. You stop negotiating your worth. You stop racing toward someday and settle into this day. That's where magic happens. The myth of productivity and constant motion. Many of us have internalized the belief that rest must be earned, that value comes from output, that doing is more important than being. So stillness feels awkward, useless, even selfish. But consider this. Some of the most important forces in nature happen in stillness. Seeds germinate in darkness and quiet. The moon reflects light without effort. Oceans pause between waves. A heartbeat includes both contraction and rest. Stillness is not a break from the journey. It is part of the journey. How to practice stillness, even in a busy life. You don't need to sit on a mountaintop for hours to embrace stillness. You don't even need to meditate in the traditional sense. Stillness is a quality of attention, not a technique. It's something you can bring into daily life. Here are a few ways to practice. 1. Breath awareness. Pause right now. Inhale slowly. Exhale even slower. That's it. That's stillness. A moment where nothing else matters except the breath moving through you. Try this a few times a day to reset your nervous system and clear the mental static. 2. Mindful moments. Choose one ordinary activity. Brushing your teeth, drinking coffee, washing dishes, and do it with full attention. No distractions. Just presence. Let it become a meditation. A sacred pause. 3. Silence breaks. Turn off music, podcasts, or background noise for 5 to 10 minutes a day. Sit or walk in silence. Let your mind settle like a snow globe after being shaken. Watch what rises when there's no noise to distract you. 4. Sunset stillness. Spend a few minutes each evening simply watching the sky. No goal. No agenda. just presence. Nature teaches us how to be. Let her guide you. 5. Meditation, the non-complicated kind. Forget rigid postures or clearing your mind completely. Just sit. Close your eyes. Watch your thoughts like clouds. Let them drift. Stillness isn't the absence of thought, it's the space between them. Stillness brings you back to your power. When you're constantly reacting, chasing, or planning, your power leaks. But in stillness, you return to center. You remember that you are not your thoughts, not your fears, not your to-do list. You are the one witnessing all of it. Stillness reconnects you to your highest self, the part of you that already knows, already trusts, already holds the frequency of everything you desire. When you don't know what to do, be still. There will be moments when no clear path appears, when both choices feel uncertain, when your mind spins with questions and doubts. In those moments, the most courageous thing you can do is stop pushing. Stop trying to force clarity. Breathe. Feel. Let the noise settle. The answer will rise, not through effort, but through listening. You'll just know. Stillness opens the door to synchronicity. Have you ever noticed how the most magical ideas or solutions come to you in the shower, on a walk, or just as you're falling asleep? That's no accident. It's because your mind is relaxed. You're not trying. You're just being. Stillness is the environment where synchronicities are born, where solutions arrive out of nowhere, where the next step becomes obvious. When you create quiet, you make space for the universe to speak. Exercise. Daily stillness ritual. Create a stillness practice that feels gentle, easy, and sustainable. Here's one you can try. Morning pause. Before reaching for your phone, sit up in bed and close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Ask, what energy do I want to bring into today? Midday reset. Set a reminder for mid-afternoon. Step away from your screen. Close your eyes. Place one hand on your chest. Breathe. Just 2 minutes. Evening reflection. Sit quietly before bed. Ask, where did I feel most present today? Let the answer come. No judgment. You can expand or simplify this as needed. The point is to create space, regular space, for stillness to become part of your rhythm. Stillness is how you hear yes. The universe is constantly saying yes to your deepest desires. But if your mind is always filled with noise, fear, doubt, or what-ifs, you may not hear it. Stillness is how you hear the yes. It's how you sense the green light, the inner nudge, the divine wink. It's how you recognize the door that's opening instead of the one you keep pushing that won't budge. Chapter 8. Follow the nudges. Have you ever had a quiet thought that seemed to come out of nowhere? A random idea that tugged at you for no logical reason? A sudden urge to take a different route home, call someone, start a conversation, or look something up. These are not accidents. They are nudges, the soft, often subtle whispers of the universe guiding you along the path of your desires. The journey of receiving is not just about asking for what you want. It's also about paying attention to how the universe starts answering, and those answers rarely arrive in grand announcements. They begin as small, intuitive promptings. In this chapter, we'll explore how to recognize, trust, and follow those nudges so you can flow with life rather than fight it. Because the truth is, the universe is always leading you, step by step, moment by moment, if you're listening. What are nudges? Nudges are those inner stirrings that don't come from your thinking mind. They come from somewhere deeper. Your intuition, your higher self, or the universal intelligence that's guiding all of us. A nudge is a quiet, persistent thought that keeps returning. A gut feeling that something is right or not right. A moment of synchronicity that grabs your attention. An idea that feels exciting, even if a little scary. An off feeling when something doesn't align. Nudges are not always convenient. They often show up when you least expect them. But they always come with a feeling of quiet certainty, like a compass pointing north. They don't scream. They whisper. And the more you honor them, the louder and clearer they become. Nudges are the language of the universe. When you set an intention or desire, The universe responds, not always in full form, but often in breadcrumbs. These breadcrumbs come in the form of nudges. Think of it like GPS. You type in your destination, your intention. The universe begins giving you turn-by-turn directions, not the whole map at once, just the next turn. And if you ignore the direction, it recalculates. It keeps nudging you toward alignment. Most people miss the signs because they expect a billboard when what they're getting is a gentle tap on the shoulder. Learning to receive means becoming fluent in this language of energy, intuition, and small cues. Why we ignore nudges, even when they're clear. If nudges are so helpful, why do we so often ignore them? There are a few reasons. They're subtle. We're trained to listen to logic, not intuition. They feel inconvenient. Nudges often pull us out of our comfort zone. We fear looking foolish. What if I'm wrong? What if this is nothing? We want guarantees. We crave certainty before we act, but nudges require trust. The irony is, the longer you ignore nudges, the louder they get, until eventually, life pushes you in ways that aren't so gentle. So instead of waiting for a cosmic shove, learn to act on the whispers. Nudges versus fear. How to tell the difference. One of the most common questions is, how do I know if it's a true nudge or just fear or wishful thinking? Here's a guide to help you tell. Quality nudge fear. Tone calm, clear, grounded anxious, urgent, noisy. Energy expansive, exciting contracted, heavy. Repetition persistent but gentle obsessive and looping. Emotion, this feels aligned, even if scary. If I don't do this, something bad will happen. Physical sensation, a pull in the chest or gut tension in the neck, shoulders, or stomach. A nudge might stretch you, but it never bullies you. Fear is loud and frantic. Nudges are soft but consistent. With practice, you'll feel the difference. Examples of nudges in action. Let's make this real. Here are common examples of how nudges might show up. You keep thinking about a book someone mentioned once. You finally read it, and it changes your life. You feel drawn to a certain cafe for no reason. You go, and meet someone who opens a door for you. You get an idea for a project that seems random. You follow it, and discover a gift you didn't know you had. You feel a quiet knowing that it's time to leave a job, even though nothing's wrong. Later, you realize it freed you for something better. None of these examples came with fireworks. They came with a feeling, a whisper, a nudge. Following nudges builds trust. Every time you follow a nudge and see where it leads, you strengthen your trust in the process. You teach yourself, I don't need to have it all figured out. I just need to follow the next step. Following nudges builds your self-trust. It deepens your relationship with your intuition. And it shows the universe that you're listening and ready to co-create. When you trust and act on small nudges, the universe gives you bigger ones. It's like any relationship, based on attention and responsiveness. The nudge path isn't always logical, but it's always aligned. One of the biggest barriers to following nudges is the desire for logic. You might think, but this makes no sense. But I've already invested so much into this other thing. But what will people think? But there's no guarantee. And that's true. Nudges often don't make logical sense at first. But they are always aligned with your soul's path, not your comfort zone. Following a nudge might lead you on a detour, but that detour brings you to the exact experience, person, or breakthrough you needed. Only in hindsight do we see how perfectly it was all orchestrated. How to strengthen your nudge sensitivity. If you feel like you've lost touch with your ability to sense nudges, don't worry. It's a skill you can rebuild. Here's how. 1. Create quiet. Nudges live in the space between thoughts. That's why practices like stillness, see Chapter 7, meditation, and mindful walks help. Quiet creates sensitivity. 2. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of obsessing over, what should I do? Try asking, what's the next right step for me? What wants to happen through me? What am I being guided toward? Then wait. Be still. The answer may come immediately, or later when you least expect it. 3. Journal your nudges. Keep a section of your journal just for nudge tracking. Whenever you get an intuitive hit, write it down. Look back every few weeks and notice which ones led to something powerful. 4. Follow without needing proof. Sometimes the nudge makes sense only after you follow it. Trust the pull. Let it be enough that something inside you feels drawn. The logic often comes later. Exercise. Nudge practice meditation. Try this short visualization to connect with your inner guidance. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably. Breathe slowly for a minute. Place your hand on your heart. What am I being nudged toward right now? What next step would bring me closer to alignment? Don't analyze. Let whatever arises come naturally, a word, image, memory, or emotion. Say thank you. Even if it feels vague, trust that you've opened the channel. Write it down. Then, take one small action in that direction. What happens when you follow the nudges? You begin to live a life that is guided, not just planned. You move from forcing to flowing, pushing to aligning, chasing to allowing. You notice synchronicities more. You feel supported. Things start to click in ways you couldn't have strategized. You build a relationship with life itself, and that relationship becomes the most powerful force behind your growth. When the nudge leads to a leap. Some nudges ask you to take small steps. Others ask for something bigger, a leap of faith, a leap out of comfort, a leap toward something unknown. And yes, those leaps can be scary. But here's what's on the other side. New opportunities that never existed before. A deeper sense of self-trust. The experience of being held by something greater. You don't have to leap blindly. Just recognize that when the nudge is strong, and your heart says yes, even in fear, that leap might be the doorway you've been asking for. Chapter 9. Celebrate the journey. We tend to think that celebration is something you do at the end of a journey. You climb the mountain, then you celebrate. You land the job, then you celebrate. You find the love, make the money, hit the goal, then you celebrate. But what if we've been doing it backward? What if celebration isn't the reward for arriving, but the power that gets you there? What if joy, appreciation, and honoring yourself along the way is actually the fuel for your manifestations? In this chapter, we'll explore how celebration is not just a feel-good extra, it's a vital part of the receiving process. It creates momentum. It affirms progress. And most of all, it aligns your energy with the very abundance you're calling in. You don't have to wait for the finish line to feel proud. You can, and must, celebrate every step. Why we don't celebrate enough. Let's start with the truth. Most of us don't know how to celebrate ourselves. We're taught to keep our heads down. Be humble. Wait until it's big enough to matter. Move quickly to the next thing. Not get too excited in case it doesn't last. We're conditioned to associate celebration with ego, vanity, or premature self-congratulation. So we downplay our wins. We brush off compliments. We think, it's not a big deal. And in doing so, we rob ourselves of the most beautiful parts of growth. The recognition that we are evolving, step by step, into who we came here to be. Here's the shift. Celebration is not about ego, it's about alignment. It says to the universe, I see how far I've come. I recognize the blessings. I honor the effort. I'm ready for more. Celebration is magnetic. The energy of celebration is high frequency. It's vibrant, joyful, and alive. And like everything else, the universe responds to vibration. When you celebrate your small wins, you create a vibrational field that says, I'm already living in success. I'm already in the flow. And the universe says, wonderful, here's more of that. Celebration makes you a magnet for more things to celebrate. It tells your subconscious, this is who I am now. This is the kind of life I live. That builds identity, confidence, momentum. So if you're serious about receiving, make celebration a regular practice, not a rare event. The myth of not there yet. One of the biggest blocks to celebration is the idea that we're not there yet. You've probably said or thought something like, "I'll celebrate when I finally reach my goal. This isn't the big win, it's just a step. I shouldn't slow down now." But think about this. If you don't learn to honor the steps, how will you ever fully appreciate the arrival? When you keep pushing the celebration into the future, you wire your brain to never arrive, to always be chasing. You train yourself to live in lack, in not enough, in endless striving. But when you pause to celebrate the now, you shift into sufficiency. You live in abundance. You tell your mind and the universe, "This is worthy. I am worthy." And that's the energy where true manifestation happens. What deserves celebration? The short answer: everything. The fact that you got out of bed on a hard day. The way you spoke kindly to yourself during a setback. That small client, that first dollar earned, that brave message sent. The healing conversation. The tear you finally let fall. The boundary you held. It all counts. It all deserves to be seen and honored. You're not celebrating perfection. You're celebrating presence, growth, alignment, progress. Here are some examples of things worth celebrating. Clarity around what you want. Catching yourself in an old pattern and choosing differently. Feeling your emotions instead of avoiding them. Setting an intention and holding faith. Following a nudge, even if it didn't lead where you expected. Practicing stillness or meditation, even for 3 minutes. Saying no when you used to say yes out of fear. Each one is a victory. Celebration is also integration. Celebration isn't just emotional. It's energetic integration. When you celebrate, you're locking in a new frequency. You're telling your nervous system, it's safe to feel good. It's safe to succeed. It's safe to expand. This is especially important if you've lived in fight or flight mode, or if your subconscious is wired for struggle. Celebration rewires your baseline. It tells your inner self, "You're doing great. You're allowed to feel this good. Keep going." Without celebration, your system doesn't register the shift, and you may unconsciously self-sabotage to return to what's familiar. So don't just check the box. Mark the moment. Celebrate in your body, in your breath, in your soul. How to celebrate without needing a parade. You don't need fireworks. You don't need applause. You don't even need to tell anyone unless you want to. Your celebration can be quiet, sacred, or simple. Here are some beautiful ways to celebrate your journey. 1. The Victory Journal. Keep a journal where you write down at least one win per day, no matter how small. Review it weekly. You'll be amazed at how much progress you're actually making. 2. Joy Rituals. Create a ritual around celebrating your wins. Light a candle. Put on music. Do a little dance. Make tea and toast to yourself. Make it ceremonial. 3. Speak it out loud. Look in the mirror and say, "I'm proud of you." Say, "You're doing something brave." Say, "You showed up today." Let your nervous system hear you. It matters. 4. Share it with someone you trust. Tell a friend or partner, "I just want to celebrate this little thing." Let it be real. Let them mirror your joy. 5. Anchor it in the body. Breathe it in. Smile. Stretch. Laugh. Move your body in a way that expresses yes. I'm claiming this. Let the celebration live in your cells, not just your mind. Make celebration a daily practice. You don't need to wait for big milestones to start celebrating. You can build it into your daily routine. Try asking these 3 questions at the end of each day. What am I proud of today? What felt aligned today? What small win can I celebrate right now? Write it down. Let it sink in. Watch how your confidence, clarity, and momentum expand over time. Celebration and receiving are connected. When you celebrate, you open your heart. You affirm to the universe that you are ready to receive more. You're not dismissing your blessings. You're dancing with them, acknowledging them, honoring them. And the universe responds with more. You become someone who notices, who appreciates, who magnifies the good. That kind of person is a magnet for abundance, because they are already living it. What about when there's nothing to celebrate? There will be days when you feel stuck, tired, off track, disconnected. Those are the days when celebration becomes a form of resilience. Celebrate that you're still showing up. Celebrate that you're aware. Celebrate that you're doing the best you can. Even if it's just, I made it through today. That counts. Exercise. The celebration letter. Write a letter to yourself from the perspective of your future self, 1 year from now. Start with, I'm so proud of you. I remember when you. List all the things you imagine yourself having done, grown through, and become. Celebrate in advance. Let your future self cheer you on. Let that energy infuse your now. Read this letter whenever you forget how far you've come. You deserve to be celebrated, now. Not when you've healed everything. Not when you've made 6 figures. Not when the world validates you. Because you are already becoming. Every choice to listen to your inner voice instead of fear. Every moment of staying true to your values. Every time you choose love instead of judgment. That's worth celebrating. Not because you've arrived, but because you're on the path, and you're walking it with courage, grace, and heart. Chapter 10. Become the channel. You've spent time opening yourself to the universe. You've learned to listen, to trust, to ask, to receive. You've practiced gratitude, alignment, intention, and stillness. But now comes the deeper truth. You are not just a receiver of abundance. You are a channel for it. This changes everything. Because receiving is not the end goal, it's part of a greater flow. Abundance is not meant to stop at you. It's meant to move through you. In this chapter, we explore the final piece of the art of receiving, becoming a vessel through which universal energy flows. When you do, you not only welcome blessings, you amplify them. You multiply them. You become a source. You become a channel, clear, open, radiant, and life moves through you with power and grace. You are a conduit, not a container. There's a beautiful shift that happens when you stop seeing yourself as a bucket and start seeing yourself as a fountain. A bucket receives and holds. It stores. It clings. It fills to capacity and says, that's enough. But a fountain? A fountain flows. It fills from the source and pours out without fear. It knows that as long as it stays connected to its source, it will never run dry. You are not here to hoard energy, money, wisdom, or love. You're here to let it move through you. As you rise, you help others rise. As you receive, you give. As you give, you expand. This is the cycle of energetic abundance. Receive, integrate, share, repeat. Why becoming a channel matters. We live in a world that tells us to seek security by accumulating. More money, more knowledge, more status, more possessions. But true security doesn't come from holding on. It comes from trusting the flow. When you become a channel, you move out of scarcity consciousness, the fear that there won't be enough, and into divine flow. You stop grasping and start radiating. You no longer live in fear of running out, because you are the river, not the cup. This doesn't mean you give everything away or become self-sacrificing. It means you give from overflow, not depletion. Becoming a channel means you don't wait to be full to offer your light. You offer what you have now, and in doing so, you invite more in. How to know if you're blocking the flow? Before you can become a clear channel, you have to identify where the energy is stuck. Here are signs you might be holding rather than flowing. You feel the need to control everything. You fear giving because you don't trust it will come back. You resist change, even when you know it's needed. You feel emotionally or creatively clogged. You experience cycles of feast and famine, financially, emotionally, energetically. Blockages don't make you bad or broken. They simply mean it's time to clear the pipes, to reconnect with the source and realign with trust. Becoming a channel requires trust. Becoming a channel is a radical act of trust. It means believing that the universe is generous, that life is for you, that your needs will be met, not just someday, but now. It means believing that you have something to give, not because you're perfect, but because you're present. This trust doesn't develop overnight. It's built through practice, through noticing what wants to move through you, through acting on inspiration, through releasing the fear that giving depletes you. The more you trust the flow, the more the flow trusts you. What you channel isn't always material. When we think of abundance, it's easy to default to money. But the universe works with many currencies: love, joy, creativity, wisdom, compassion, vision, truth, beauty, healing. You may be called to channel empathy. You may be called to share a story, create art, offer support, build a solution, or simply hold space for someone. Your job isn't to judge what you're here to share, it's to listen, to allow, to move with what wants to move through you. The more you channel your gifts, the more the universe amplifies them. How to become a clear channel. Let's talk about the practice of becoming a channel. Like everything else in this book, it's not a formula. It's a relationship. But there are some essential steps that will open you up. 1. Connect to your source daily. Whether through meditation, breath work, prayer, nature, movement, or silence. Find what connects you to something greater than yourself. Make this connection a non-negotiable. You can't pour from a dry cup, but the source is infinite. Tap in. 2. Ask, what wants to flow through me today? Each morning or before starting a task, ask yourself, what energy, message, or action wants to move through me today? Listen for a word, a feeling, a nudge. Don't overthink. Let it be simple. Then move from that place. 3. Create from alignment, not obligation. Whether you're writing, building, speaking, parenting, or serving, do it from inspiration, not guilt. When you create from overflow, it nourishes everyone. When you create from pressure, it depletes everyone. If it's not aligned, it's not divine. 4. Let go of the outcome. A true channel doesn't worry about how the message is received. They simply allow it to flow. You're not responsible for how it's used. You're responsible for showing up and being open. Release the need to be understood, validated, or applauded. Trust that your offering has already landed where it needs to. 5. Rest and refill. Flow is a cycle. After giving, you must also receive. You must be replenished. Honor your body. Honor your need for silence. Let yourself be nourished so you can continue to offer from your center. Signs you're in the flow. How do you know when you're becoming a true channel? You'll notice. You feel energized, not exhausted, by what you're doing. Ideas come through you faster than you can write them down. You experience synchronicities regularly. You speak or create something that surprises you. Where did that come from? People feel shifted just by being around your energy. You stop asking, what's in it for me? And start asking, what wants to come through me? In these moments, you're not just receiving, you're radiating. You are in alignment with your soul and in collaboration with the universe. Service as sacred flow. Service is often misunderstood. It's not self-sacrifice. It's not martyrdom. It's not about fixing others. True service is a natural byproduct of being a channel. It's a joyful overflow. It's the desire to uplift because you've been lifted, to free others because you've been freed, to reflect love because you've tasted it yourself. Service in this context is sacred. It's how you deepen your relationship with the universe. It's how you anchor abundance, not just in your life, but in the lives of others. And the best part? The more you give from overflow, the more the universe fills you up. Exercise. Channel check-in. Here's a daily or weekly practice to keep you in flow. Step 1. Connect. Sit in stillness. Breathe. Place one hand on your heart and the other on your belly. Step 2. Ask silently, What wants to move through me today? Let the answer come, an image, word, energy, or sensation. Step 3. Follow the guidance. It could be a small act of kindness, a creative project, a conversation, a post, or even rest. Step 4. Reflect at the end of the day. Ask, did I honor what wanted to move through me? Where did I block the flow? What do I need to feel more supported? This practice will refine your channel and deepen your connection to the infinite source within you. Final thought. You are the miracle you're waiting for. Becoming a channel means remembering that the divine is not outside of you. It's not something you have to beg or prove yourself worthy of. It lives within you. It is you. The more you receive, the more you can give. The more you give, the more you grow. The more you grow, the more you receive. This is the sacred loop of abundance. This is how life flows through you. So become the channel. Be the blessing. Open the floodgates of your being. Because you are not here to just witness miracles. You are here to be one.